they find it very uncomfortable talking about it. And for me, it started with, I think I had a really bad breakup that, gave me a very rude shake. And, it started my journey to personally begin to come back to myself and really come to learning, connecting the dots back to myself. And I figured out it was such an exciting but challenging journey. But it came with big payoffs. So along the line, I figured out a whole lot of people are, where I used to be. And it would be nice to help them figure out how I, got myself out of that rut into something more.
Welcome to another episode coming at you from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. So today I have another special guest. She's a sensuality and intimacy coach, sex and gender expert, and life coach. She embodies love and is quite an eccentric and wild being who believes humans are created to be free, to love, expand, and to experience boundless levels of bliss and pleasure. She's helped over 2,000 people realize their true nature and awaken the courage deep inside them to fearlessly pursue their desires, pleasure, and goals. She believes the journey to intimacy, genuine happiness, fulfillment in relationships starts from self, and that every relationship should focus on providing a safe space for both partners to be who they were born to be. My special guest today is Joy Kebu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, same here. So where are you from originally?
I'm from Delta State, part of Nigeria.
Okay. So how was it like being born and raised over there? I've never been there before. How is it?
So restrictive, right? But I mean, it's a beautiful place to be because the culture is very rich and, very expansive as well. So yeah, apart from the fact that it's kind of a bit repressed, every other thing is beautiful.
So you live in a small town or a big city?
I live in a big city.
Okay. Gotcha. So how did you get started on your journey with the work that you do? Because, some of the stuff you talk about is, at least over here in North America, is taboo. People don't like to talk about it, but at the same time, they like having sex, but they don't want to talk about it. So how'd you get started?
I mean, it's the same thing here. They love to have sex, but they find it very uncomfortable talking about it. And for me, it started with, I think I had a really bad breakup that, gave me a very rude shake. And, it started my journey to personally begin to come back to myself and really come to learning, connecting the dots back to myself. And I figured out it was such an exciting but challenging journey. But it came with big payoffs. So along the line, I figured out a whole lot of people are, where I used to be. And it would be nice to help them figure out how I, got myself out of that rut into something more blissful.
Gotcha. So basically your journey started from some of your own experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. Most of the time, I don't know, most people I talk to, they didn't really choose the journey. The journey chose them,
Yeah.
So they started to help other people with the same problems and everything or whatever. It seems it happens that way. I don't know why,
No, I mean, I feel like we are only able to help people to the capacity we've helped ourselves. I think that's why it's, tends to be that way.
Yeah. So now that you said that, what do you think about people that say they're trying to help people, but they never had the experience ever? What do you think about that?
Okay. I believe there are people who have professional knowledge, right? And I believe there are people who have experiential knowledge as well. People who have gone through it which is where I believe wisdom really comes from, right? But as well, there were people who had to go learn a certain thing, a certain skill to be able to help others with it. That's very valid too, in my opinion. It's just that we would all be able to help people in different ways, and I think that's what the thing is.
Yeah, exactly. So what is tantric sex? What tantra sex? What is that exactly? Because a lot of people will say, they think it's like some woo woo or some voodoo or something like magical. I've heard people talk. I've heard people say this, but I know better. But tell the people what that really is.
So to me, I believe that having tantric sex is like you having a union of mind, body, and spirit. Having sex with something in a way that you feel like is bigger than yourself. It's just something that is above your physical mundane aspect. Yeah, even though people feel like it's the who, it's just a mindful approach to actually having sex and seeking pleasure, where you have to connect with your mind, connect to your body and to your spirit all at once during the experience, as opposed to most things that most people do, that their genital is really the only thing that is getting the pleasure. Their entire body, their cells and all of that are not really getting anything from the actual experience. So it's I don't think it's anything more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Because a lot of people, if anything outside of their comfort zone,
Yeah.
they tend to be like, oh, I don't know, that's I'm not into that. That sounds
Yeah.
new age or
Or
whatever.
out of the ordinary.
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of people, they get very uncomfortable, even though now they they want good sex, but they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to
Yeah.
talk about anything that don't make them uncomfortable. Basically, that's
Yeah.
most people. So how did you get started helping other people? How did that come about? How did you know you had the confidence to help other people?
So usually like I said, after my own experience, I got, my mind got open to a whole lot of things. And aside that, I feel after then, I kind of like tapped into one of my innate gifts, which is, just getting downloads from nowhere, and just knowing things and knowing what people needed to hear when they come to me, and to talk to me about having certain issues in their lives or in their relationships. I'll always somehow just know what to say, and they'd be like, oh my god, that's what I needed. And so my friends started being like, you're really good at this thing, why don't you give it a shot and start talking about it. And I started talking about it. 2019, I started really making crazy posts on Instagram about it, and then later on switched to trying to see if I could do that professionally, taking additional life course, certifications and all that.
Gotcha. Yeah, the reason why I asked that, because there's some people that they might be great at doing some things, but as far as teaching it, they're horrible.
Yeah, I feel like teaching is one of the gifts that I have.
Yeah.
I used to teach with my mom back then when I was a kid. So yeah.
Yeah. I feel like when you teach other people, you learn as well.
Very right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that I've had to really, really sit down to really pick the details in them are things that I've had to teach other people. And the more I do that, the more it helps me build the confidence. Yeah.
So you're strictly online or offline or both?
I used to do both, but right now I'm strictly online due to some personal reasons. Maybe in the future I might, go back offline. But my speaking engagements, in real time right now, I'm putting them on hold for now.
Okay. So, well, how has the pandemic affected you? Because were you speaking like 2019 and 2020, like out and about?
So 2019, 2020, I wasn't really speaking. I was just doing more of posts on Instagram. But during the pandemic, it got a lot worse. because now I was alone and I had more time to read a lot of books and all that. And then my head started going crazy and I started posting so many other stuff. And then I started, towards the end of 2020, I started IG lives. I started going on IG lives to really talk on lives. And I think from there I started podcasting and, just like that.
Yeah. So, hey, you don't have any problems with IG? They don't.
It's crazy right now. Everything is so fucked up right now, but I'm just trying to not really stress myself too much about it because the whole thing is messed up right now.
Yeah, the reason why I asked that because on YouTube, they shadow banned me like 2 years ago.
Wow.
I'm like,
I think I personally lost one of my YouTube channel just early this year. I just woke up and got an email that they've deleted my account. I'm like, whoa, what? What happened?
Yeah.
So I had to start a new one all over again.
Yeah. So what I did, well, that actually happened to me like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times on YouTube. But what I actually did this time around is I have a private area, okay. I started a membership and then I started a Patreon,
okay.
That way I can say what I want to say, whether it's in, because I can do audio and I can upload the audio on Patreon,
okay.
So that way I won't have to depend on YouTube because I know because a lot of people were telling me that they don't see the videos when I upload them.
Wow.
And when I go live, they don't see the videos either. So that's when I knew something was going on because at one point, I was getting like 5,000 views a video. And now I'm down, I might be lucky if I get 200 views, and if the video takes off, it'll take off later, like 2-3 weeks, a month later, or whatever. So that's when I knew something was going on. So that's why I asked, because I know Facebook, they're kind of strict when it comes to IG, And they have their, I guess, certain people that they don't have a problem. Certain people can do whatever they want. And then you have other people, they just like, they take the whole video down. So that's why I asked that.
It happens like that. Especially in this part of the world where I'm in, our own entire IG feed algorithm is so fucked up and messed up and leaving everybody wondering what's going on and everybody looking like a scam page.
Yeah, so I just I just made it my business not to depend on one thing or whatever. So what made you start podcasting? How did that come about?
So with podcasting, my partner had told me that it feels like my brilliance is in speaking and talking because it felt like I really do connect with people more that way. And so he suggested that I tried podcasting more. And so that was what I did. I started doing more of podcasting, talking and all that.
Yeah. When I looked at your IG, I was like, oh, who's this? Because I've never heard of you because you're on the other side of the world and everything.
Yeah.
But your IG was the thing that I was like, oh, okay. She's like, soulful type woman or whatever. I get it, Yeah. But, there's a lot of people that that claim they do what you do, right? But I can tell that some women, they probably read a couple books and, they just started like explaining it in the video. But I could tell you're like the real deal,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're like the real deal, So how do you, do you bring on guests or how do you go about doing your episodes on your podcast?
So I started with Instagram live. So normally I would have guests or I go solo on my Instagram live for about 40 to 60 minutes. And then when I'm done, I take the video and, move that up to audio and post on my podcast. And, but I'm looking for other ways to start doing that now because IG right now is messed up,
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Sometimes I record from my phone. Like I think there's an app that's on. Either you can download or it might even come with your phone. Sometimes I record from my phone, and I'll send the audio. I'll email myself the audio, and then I'll download the audio on my computer, and then I'll use some type of audio software to edit,
Okay.
and then I'll upload it to. What do you use? What kind of software you use for your podcast?
Anchor.
Oh yeah, you can after you finish editing the audio, then you can upload it to Anchor. You know,
Oh, okay.
or sometimes I'll use Switcher, the Roadcast. I use that
Okay.
too for the audio. You know, but that I didn't start off with a Roadcast. This was like I got the Roadcast like 8 months ago, but I've been only doing this for like 20 months now. It's not even 2 years. So
Wow.
yeah. Yeah. So basically anything that can record audio, and if you can email your audio to yourself, and you should be able to download that audio and edit on your computer. You know?
Okay. Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Yeah. So that's what I do sometimes, you know, because sometimes I might be I don't know, I might be in my car driving or something like that. And I'll do the same thing you do. I'll shoot a video, and then I'll, strip the audio from the video. I'll do the same thing you do. Well, So I'll either record on my cell phone or strip the audio from the video. Either or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So how do you come up with topics? What do you talk about on your podcast?
So I talk about, I explore topics around sexuality, sensuality, intimacy, relationships, and just general life topics that help people to evolve and grow, basically.
Okay. So you talk about it from the woman's perspective or the man's perspective, or both?
From both, because I'm a woman. Most times I can't really talk from a man's perspective. Yeah. So I like to bring in people who are men, guests who are men, to talk, from a man's perspective. So I'm not really talking from biases or, acting like I know what I'm saying. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So do you get some pushback from women? Because a lot of women will say, well, why should I care about this? Do you get questions like that?
Of course, yes. And right here, we tend to be quite sentimental, women here. So yeah, a whole lot of that does happen. But when I'm talking, I try so much to, switch between logic and emotions, just to make sure everything is balanced and break all that barriers.
Okay. So like how did you learn about the womb and stuff like that? Because that's not something that, at least where I'm at, that's not something that you hear like every day. I mean, women don't talk about it. Men surely don't talk about it. Most guys don't even know what that means. So how did you learn? How'd you learn? Because I know, you said you learned based on your experience because you went through some of this stuff. But at some point, I would think, you correct me if I'm wrong, you said to yourself, hey, I want to take things to the next level. So, where'd you learn the other stuff from?
So I took a series of courses. Like the first one, I did it from Natural Healer. She's she takes people on Reiki journeys and all these other soulful journeys. So I took Reiki class from her, Reiki master class, and I also, went ahead to take a womb class, womb healing and empowerment class from her as well. And I think my Tantra class was just, some of all those readings and, experimenting and reading and experimenting. I wouldn't really say I took an extensive class on that one. But the womb healing thing, I did take an extensive class on that.
So it's over where you at?
No.
Oh, okay.
She my teacher, she lived in Australia at that time. She was living in Australia at that time.
Okay. Gotcha. So how I would say, what kind of courses do you have? Because I know you got some like digital courses, and what?
Yeah, so I do have series of courses, but the ones that top the chart right now is I have my couples intimacy program where I, just help couples to walk through their beliefs, outdated beliefs that are probably, guiding their relationships and help them to begin to create new beliefs that will help support their ideal relationship. And then I have an erotic course that teach women how to use masturbation to apologize for that. So yeah, I also have courses, that help people develop self intimacy. That's as individuals. And also there is another course on pleasure languages where you get to learn all the 5 different pleasure languages and learn which one your partner speaks so that you can, really speak to your partner's language and give them pleasure the way they would prefer to receive it.
Which which one is the biggest seller?
So the biggest seller right now is the pleasure language. The
Yeah.
pleasure language course is the biggest seller, and everybody want to have good sex with your partners.
Oh yeah. Hey, what you got to come out with a book? You have to eventually.
Yes, I am writing one. I'm almost done. In fact, I finished editing it today. It's
Oh,
just,
okay, that's good.
to take it up to the designer and let them do their magic.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, right?
Yes,
A lot of
yes,
work.
it is.
Yeah, I did 3 of them. I was
Oh,
like, yo, this is a lot. I don't have any. Some people have been telling me, hey, you need to come out with another one. Look, I don't have anything else to do.
I wish they knew what it takes to
Yeah, it's
write one.
how long did it take you to write?
So what I usually do with writing my book is I do it in form of a webinar first, just get everything off of my head and then transcribe it and then start editing it. So this one actually took me about close to 3 months
Oh,
because I had so much that I was doing. Yeah.
yeah, it took me like the first book took. Well, the first book, check this out. The first book, I didn't even plan what it was. Is I had a Word file on my computer that I used to write all the time, right?
Mm.
And somebody, I had a female friend came over, and she used to come over and read it, and she said, "Hey, you need to turn this into a book." I wasn't even thinking about it, and that's how my first book came about.
Wow.
All I did is just paid someone to edit
Yeah.
and paid for a designer. That's how the first book came about. Now the second book, man, that took like a year.
Wow.
And and then the third
I
book,
can imagine.
huh?
I can imagine.
Yeah, because I'm the type that I have to be in a certain state of mind to write.
Mm.
You know, because sometimes I might just not be feeling it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third book that took me like 4 months, but I was in a zone, man. I was typing like every day. I would do like 2,000 words. I did
Wow.
that for like, man, 3 months straight. And then after the 3 months, I started slacking off.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It
You
is a lot
have
of
to be
work.
in a certain state of mind, man, to do that. I just, there's some people can, they'll sit there and type out 5,000 words a day out there. I don't know how you do that, bro. you know, that's wild. So if people wanted to follow you and see what you got going online, where would they go to?
My Instagram page, that will be at Kebu Joy. My name, Kebu, then Joy, as one word.
Got,
That's it. Yeah.
got. So when they get there, what they gonna find? What they
Well,
gonna
they're gonna
learn?
find a whole lot of posts on my Instagram page that will probably get them thinking about their relationships. And in the bio, in my link as well, they can find links to all of my favorites, resources, YouTube channel, blog posts, and some of my courses. And there's this special one. There's a free video training that they will find there 3 steps to having amazing sex in less than 24 hours. For people who really are looking to have that mind-blowing, amazing sexual experience with your partners, they'll find that free on my bio as well. The link in my bio.
And what about your website?
Yeah, my website is that's it. They'll find that, but it's kind of attached to every single link that's on that bio.
Okay, gotcha. So there you have it. All links will be found in the show notes. Like, share this episode. Tell me what you think below. Until next time, we out. Peace. If you like this video, share this video. And if you want to support my channel, click the thanks tab and leave me a donation. 2, 5, 10, 50. Just click whatever tab you want to donate and leave me a note and let me know how the video helped you. And you click the buy and send tab. Appreciate it.